and I'm taking on all comers in 3+0 blitz. Aryan, I see your challenge up there. You're always up at the top. Aryan challenges early, so that's why he appears first, as regulars will know. Hello, everyone on Twitch and YouTube. Excellent. Just confirming that we're live. Looks like we're good to go. Let me make a move here so I don't accidentally abort this game. Yep, we are good. Okay, all systems go. What's up, No Joke Chess? Hello, HTTP status. I love that emote. Hello, Bakuz. Okay, let's take this pawn here. I switched up the board theme a little bit today. I was getting a bit bored of the blue theme, you know? You got to keep it fresh sometimes. All right, let's play A5. This structure is generally pretty favorable for black in these Slav positions. You can use the B4 square as an outpost potentially. Okay, knight C3. So I don't think white's getting this pawn back anytime soon. This pawn on C4, that is. Let's bring this knight into the game. Hello, Shellback. Also, Tib Guti. Yes, I see you guys using the exclamation point challenge in the chat. Also, if you happen to be watching this on YouTube and you want to challenge me, my username is Fins, F-I-N-S. Just go on Lichess. Oh, let me move my webcam here so it's not blocking the clock. All right, slight improvement. So yeah, challenge me, F-I-N-S, on Lichess to 3+0. Has to be 3+0. It can be rated or casual, up to you. Greetings to Aryan. Yeah, I see you in the chat. All right, E4. Let's just go bishop G7. So I'm going to try to keep this pawn. I want to hold on to this guy. Hello, Anton on YouTube. Also, DJR and Leopare. Or Lopare. I feel like I mispronounce your name every single time, Lopare. I'm not even sure that's the right way to say it. Feel free to correct me. Oh, thank you, Osla Papa. Thank you, thank you. Let's play bishop E6. So this looks a little bit awkward for black, but for a pawn, we're willing to go through this discomfort. I know white has these pawns, but aside from that, I mean, I tend to like black's position in this type of setup. I feel like my opponent's going to go bishop H6, but I don't think I'm going to try to stop Rock Robin off to do that. Doing that, we'll allow that to occur. I'm a little bit cramped here, so trading pieces should favor me, all things considered. Yeah, let's do this. I'm okay with the swap. Hello, Potless Flower. Also, Olib. Oh, thank you, Aryan. Yes, yeah, I've been working on my blitz lately, so watch out. Watch out, everyone, on Lichess Plays. Hello, Old Pal. Also, Ganesh. Yes, greetings to our viewers from all over the world. We get a wide variety of viewers on Lichess Plays. It's one of my favorite things about this. And shout out to Lichess for making this happen every week. It's one of the highlights of my week. Okay. I think my opponent's doing a pretty good job of keeping this interesting. I want to attack this pawn. C5, I don't know if I want to allow D5. That doesn't seem quite right. I think I'm actually going to back the queen off and attempt to threaten E5, although my opponent saw that. So well played there. Let's go queen C7. A bit of jockeying going on. I'm still not in a position to threaten E5 yet because of takes, and I got to watch this knight. So maybe now I try to pivot that knight back, I'm thinking. Yeah, let's play this one. Try to speed up just a little bit. We're inching towards a pure bullet game. All right, now I think this is time. It's time to play this. You know what I'm really gunning for is the D3 square. I want that square for my knight. It's a superb outpost square. I'm also even hitting A4 here. So getting this white pawn to move one square forward to D5 is a huge achievement, I think, for black in these positions. Yeah, now I've got some options. I can go here. I can go here and here. Both look pretty darn good. I think I'm actually going to go with this route because that knight looks extremely well placed on D4. Maybe white will even blunder the super fork. This queen E3 looks pretty natural. I think white sees it, though. I think white's going to go here or here. No? Wild card. So that still allows this fork. I should probably play it. I don't see any particular threats to my position, so let's go ahead and do it. Yeah, that one knight came in and caused all sorts of havoc. Now here, I don't necessarily have to take right away if I don't want to. So let's drag this out. You know, this type of situation, it's annoying for the opponent when this happens, where you're not obligated to capture one of their rooks right away. All right, should I try something a little sneaky? Threat of G5. Yeah, we're going to get this in. That is a trapped queen all of a sudden. All these pawns on the 5th rank, taking away squares. Am I streaming on Lichess Weekly? Yes. Johnny says, I've lost to you back-to-back weeks, but I'm ready for another battle. All right, I like that. I like that attitude. Yeah, thank you for the game, Rock Robinoff. So I think you were doing all right up until probably right around here. I mean, I think you're somewhat worse in this position. I don't see fully sufficient compensation, but maybe something like F4. I use the engine a lot in analyzing these quick games. Actually, I mean, the engine, it definitely says you have full compensation here. E5 or F4. So I'm pretty bluntly angling for E5 in this position, so that explains these top 2 moves of the computer. So actually, your position's a little bit better than I thought. F4, E6, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, maybe because my knights are a bit hard to maneuver. This knight, although it's anchoring the pawn, doesn't have a whole lot of future prospects. Same with this knight. So I think the engine's kind of saying, yeah, just continue grabbing space, prevent black's pawn breaks, especially this one. Start inching forward, maybe G4. It's a definite fight. And you guys can use that strategy. Like, if there's no immediate reason to capture one of the enemy rooks, I mean, it's good for black to take either of them here, but you don't have to. It can be extremely annoying for the opponent when you hold off a little bit on capturing, because they constantly are thinking when you're going to do it, and you have the power to choose. So thanks for the game, Rock Robinoff. All right, Yasha, you're up. Just as a reminder, we usually get somewhere in the range of 18 to 20 games here in Lichess Plays. This is a 2-hour event, and anyone can challenge. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get selected. It's a random selection. But mostly if people, attend, they get challenged sooner or later. So, all right, let's play E3. We're playing a Jobava London. I've really been on a Jobava London kick lately. Let's play, let's go aggressive. Let's go H4. Oh, this is a 3+2. Ugh. Yeah, I missed the increment here. That's my bad. I should have been more attentive to that. So, Yasha, if you happen to be watching this, make sure in the future that you only challenge with a time control of 3+0 instead of 3+2. Weird move here. I'm trying to enable knight e5 and also maybe b4, b5. Rated is fine. I don't care about rating. So rated is fine. Hello, McBain. Also, Steve W. Aha, got it. Lopare. I didn't know you were Swedish. Nice. Do I consider the Budapest dubious? What to do after queen d5 on move 6? I know what line you're talking about. I think the Budapest is borderline. I think it's one of those borderline gambits, personally. This is an interesting move, by the way. Because I could take the bishop. I don't think a sack here is really justified, although it's interesting. Taking the bishop would be like the standard thing to do here. I don't know, though. He gets in e5 pretty easily if I take. But maybe. All right, I'm going to take, and then I think I'm going to play for a4. I'm going to try to disturb this queenside situation. I know I've got my queen on b1. But yeah, to answer your question, I think black can nearly equalize in that aforementioned line in the Budapest. But yeah, it's close. Okay, maybe if I go c3 in the near future, let's say the game goes a5, c3, maybe I get a chance to drop a bomb on g6 at some point. Perhaps. It's a bit of a pipe dream, but we'll see. Sack for the glory. Yeah, if I'm on the fence about something in Lichess plays, I go for it. Hello, Copes. E5. All right, so black playing very actively here. Let's take. I actually didn't see that was a threat. E5 did open up the queen. All right. Well. Okay, let's take this one. And then maybe take here. I don't know how much I need to fear this check yet. Just going to hop up with my king. I don't really care about losing g2. We can deal with that. Position's very messy. I mean, I think this is kind of anyone's game here. Let's go here. Yeah, complicated. I mean, I might swing this queen back over here. I think I know what move I would play here as black, but I'm not going to say it just in case my opponent's stream sniping. I don't mind if you guys stream snipe, by the way. That's totally fine and expected. But this player's good. I got to be on my game here. All right, so let's swing over here. I was actually afraid of a5. That was the move I was most concerned about. Not that I'm out of the woods here necessarily, or that I'm even better. Yeah, somehow this, though, seems a little accommodating. Like, maybe black is slipping a little bit. Let's take this way. I want to go after this pawn. Rook b8 would be a massive blunder. My bishop controls that square. Yeah, very messy position. That's right. All right, I could go here, I think. And if takes, rook c2, I'm thinking. Or just take on c6. Yeah, let's go here. I think I'm pressing here, guys. I think this is better for white. Material for the moment remains equal, though. But, you know, the 2-second increment, you usually have to win on the board with an increment like that. I mean, time is still a factor, of course, but hard to get in a dirty flag with this, let's say. All right, now here I'm a little torn. I don't know if I should take on c6 or if I should play rook c2 first. Taking on c6 is definitely the most direct. Take, a6. That actually does feel pretty good. Let's try to squeeze from here. We'll see if this endgame's winning. Now I want to keep my a pawn. This is a valuable asset for sure. I'm thinking I might want to play a5 here. This position seems critical. I have a fork, but I actually am not too keen to go for it immediately. I'm going to hold off on it for a move. I don't know. This might be pushing things a bit, but black's still under pressure. Okay, so they covered that square. Fine. Let's go here. Okay, now I think I want to cover e4 with this. And king d7 always runs into knight b8 check, and then I can go after this guy, which I might play now. However, the bishop goes to b4. So there. I can win a pawn. I can win the pawn on... Ooh, okay. So my opponent does blunder this. Now, it's important that when I take this, I'm covering the b4 square, so there's no bishop b4 to win that pawn. Now, probably knight c7. It's close, though. Close call. Okay, check. Take. Oh, all right. My opponent's collapsing, fortunately for me. All right, thank you for the game, Yasha. If you happen to be watching Lichess plays, maybe you challenge me randomly, but just remember 3+0 in the future. Yeah, pretty complicated one. I think black might have been even better in the middle game. Engine's not thrilled with queen b1. That was a little, a little creative. I was thinking it might be useful in playing b4, b5. Really hates a4. Okay, so another creative idea I had. Just wants me to go back and admit my mistake here. Yeah, sharp one. I mean, I don't doubt that black was a little bit better maybe right around here. Let's see what it wants to do in this position. Yeah, a5. That was the move I was worried about. Remember when I said I don't want to say it just in case my opponent's stream sniping? But a5 forces my knight back to a2, which is for sure a suboptimal square. I'd prefer not to go there. As played, my knight got to get extremely active. Huh. Knight takes d5. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I would go for that. All right, well, thank you for the game. On to the next one. Riemann. Hey, how's it going? My opponent here, who's a Lichess patron, by the way, thank you for that. They featured in that clip where someone asked in the chat, it's on the Lichess YouTube channel. Someone asked in the chat if I've ever underpromoted to a knight with checkmate. And I said no, and I was playing Riemann at the time, with the same colors, by the way. I was white, Riemann was black. And I ended up doing it in that game. I just decided to try to go for it, and it worked out. Underpromote to knight with checkmate. You were there, Pog? Nice. All right, let's be aggressive here. E4. This bishop on E6 looks pretty awkward. So I'm going to try to run Riemann over. How do you remember who had what color? Well, because I remember the final checkmate. And I remember being on the white side of it. Okay, here I was thinking take this one, perhaps. Well, I don't know, actually. This one's pretty good, too, I think. I'm torn. Take, take, take. Bishop c6. Maybe that's not much. All right, we'll take here. We'll take this one. So this looks a little awkward for black to unwind because black can't easily get the knight to c6. All right, now a check here is pretty darn obvious. I can recover the pawn if I want, like check and then go here. But I'm not worried about recovering the pawn. I'm trying to play for some sort of mating idea. All right, but let's give the check first. Force bishop d7. And e6 would be kind of a standard move here to try to prosecute the attack. Yeah, let's go for it. Point being, black can't take with the bishop. Black is pinned. Hello, John Stevenson on YouTube. I see you. John asks, which do you think has better chances? Albin's counter gambit or Queen's Gambit declined? Well, definitely the Queen's Gambit declined has a better pedigree. Okay, here, what do I think about this move? This move looks real interesting to me. Queen h5, threatening mate. Threatening a mate in one. I mean, I can take here, no doubt, but maybe some delayed gratification. Because the real nasty thing about this move is not only is there a mate threat, but I'm threatening to take that when, with the pawn remaining on e6, that's a mating pattern. So I think this one might be a winner. Yeah, you know, Albin, I feel like the Albin is similar to the Budapest. It's like a borderline playable gambit. But definitely Queen's Gambit declined is sounder. More sound. Yeah, I didn't really see a good response there for black after Queen h5. Thanks for the game, Riemann. Let's just check real quick if Queen h5 is the best move. Always look at your in-between moves, guys. This is a somewhat unusual... Yeah, best move by far. Not even close. This is a somewhat unusual in-between move because it's not a check or a capture in a position with lots of checks and captures. I mean, check, check, capture. Lots of possibilities here. And we're actually just creating a threat of a check or a capture, a mate in one threat. What if he took with pawn? Well, he can't take this pawn because he's pinned. So, yeah, this is just nasty due to the two threats. And if black moves the queen, let's say black plays this top move here. I mean, at minimum, I can take this and then take the bishop. With either thing, really. I could take with a pawn and then take the knight. But, this looks pretty natural. I guess the point here is black can block, although this is still an issue. Or, yeah, castles. The attack is raging here. That's a nice one. I think a player with like a decent sense of danger will pause here and consider their options before playing some obvious move. Like this might be the most obvious move in the position. I'm sure white still has a pretty good position, but it's actually like not as large of an advantage as I would think here. Take and then play this and recover the bishop. Black is surviving at this point. So you know what, guys? I actually think this is a nice little quiz for someone if you want to give this to a friend or training partner or something. Yeah, e6 is not even the best move, so I'm not even sure how instructive that is. But like this specific position here, what should white play? Leaving that pawn on e6 has a large benefit for the moment due to this major threat here, double threat. Okay, thanks for the game, Riemann. Yeah, bringing out the light square bishop like that's a little early. This is risky. Yeah, they almost always play knight f6 here or e6. Knight f6 would be utterly standard. So just getting a little more defense at d5 would be recommended before you think about moving this light square bishop. Even in this position, if you play bishop f5 or bishop g4, those are known to be slight mistakes due to like taking queen b3. You leave your b7 pawn a little bit vulnerable. Okay. Wizard King, you're up next. 2180. Good luck to you. Okay, what should I play? Let's play a Sicilian. District Attorney Bartholomew prosecuting the attack. I had a student tell me yesterday that they really like the term prosecute the attack. It does sound nice, doesn't it? It sounds very efficient, ruthless. All right, this variation. So I'm playing a hyper-accelerated, white's going for a d4 base setup. Now, very important to go d5 here. You need to fight against this center. I think I should go knight c6 here, and I'm going to develop this knight through h6. I wish I could raise objections during my opponent's attack. Well, I guess your moves themselves are the objections, right? Yeah. John, how many students do you teach on a daily basis? I'd say a busy day for me would be like 4 hours of lessons. Let's take this. I like getting this dark square bishop. I think if you're a full-time teacher, like one-on-one, whether it's chess or otherwise, I would say about 20 to 25 teaching hours per week is kind of at the top end of what you'd want to shoot for. That's just my opinion. That's what I found to be. It keeps you busy. It's not overwhelming. 25 is getting to be a lot. I'd say maybe more like 20 for most people. All right, let's develop here. I think I'm a little bit better in this position, or a little bit more comfortable, let's say, but it's nothing major. Just some pressure with the bishop pair. Hello, Platon. Says greetings from Montreal. Thank you for tuning in. All right, bishop d3. Should I keep the bishop pair? I kind of want to, but I'd have to play something passive to keep it. You know what, though? Let's do it. Let's try to maintain that pair of bishops. Yeah, white's playing pretty solid here. I need to figure out a plan. Knight a5, knight here. That would be kind of a standard plan, but I think white's going to play b3 against that. Queen a5 is possible. All right, let's play queen a5. I'm behind on the clock here. This is one of my bad habits. I need to speed up. I must speed up. Okay, let's go here. b4 I'm not worried about because I can take. Queen trade. Really? All right, I'll take you up on that. I think that's just a blunder. White got a little eager there to swap. And now White's going to pay the price. They lose 2 pawns. This is hanging. Give me that. We'll let rook b7 happen. That's fine. Let's go here. This still may not be super easy. Let me be clear about that. Yeah, do I have to lose that? I could play bishop c8, but that... actually, maybe bishop c8. I'll try it. Backward move. Guard this. I'm thinking bishop c5 might be handy soon. That rook is running out of good squares to go to. Yeah, now here. Okay, so I succeeded in keeping the a-pawn, and things are getting traded. So looking good. Rook b6. Okay, let's go here. Still need to keep playing fast, though. I have a feeling White is a good time pressure player, so extra reason to keep the pressure on here. Let's go h6. I don't know about that, though. That's awfully weakening. Check. Now the bishops spring to life. Now we got the bishops rolling. This nearly looks like forced mate. Let's go here. You know what? I'm not even going to take that rook. I know that's hanging. He's going to realize it now. But now he's going to allow me mate in 2. Check. And here. You know you've leveled up in your chess when you don't even take the long-range diagonal bishop attack. Because you know you have better. But always look for those. Normally, that would be the move. But I didn't want to take my bishop away from helping the pawn get to g4. Do we think that's the best move? Let's see. Ah, darn. Darn. Oh, actually, they're almost equivalent. Mate in 5 versus mate in 6. Well, when you have mate in 5, look for mate in 6. That's the lesson. All right. Thanks for the game, Wizard King. I think you were doing fine up until knight b1. Knight b1 looks like the losing move. Yeah. You're actually somewhat better here. So the computer likes your pawns in the center. They are annoying, not going to lie. I mean, this is your one weakness. But yeah, something like this. I could see the queen being useful, maybe popping out here once you solve this issue. Like maybe you bring this rook over. It's not clear to me what I should do on this wing. I mean, I'd probably go for like b5, b4, something like that. But the engine, yeah, doesn't even like this because my bishop gets trapped. So yeah, you're doing fine. Just you're in a bit too much of a hurry to trade here. Knight b1, I mean, that's no exaggeration to say that's the losing move. Thanks for the game, though. All right, so getting some tough opponents. Admiral Stapler, hello to you. Let's play e4. Whenever I see someone with a username with Stapler in it, I think of the movie Office Space. Legendary movie. Okay, let's play a mainline Ruy. Do I teach in person? A little bit, not so much anymore. Like definitely not since the pandemic. Have I been teaching in person very much? But yeah, I've worked in schools before. There's a couple programs locally that I've worked at over the years. Knight f6. I can't remember if this is a mistake or not. Because I can think about knight g5 here. Let me think about this. I think that move is good. Let's do it. Because black played b5 a little bit early, which compelled my bishop to come back here. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Yeah, actually, I'm remembering now. I think this is fine for black if black plays it all right. Okay, I think black should have played knight a5 there, similar to the two knights defense. Now I believe queen f3 is the move. You don't want to go fried liver style with this because you don't have c3 for the knight. So I believe this is now the move. And this is somewhat better for white. Please submit your TPS report. Oh yeah, we've got someone who's watched Office Space in the chat. It's a hilarious movie. Okay, now which way do I take? Do I do this one or this one? I think this one is pretty darn powerful. I mean, this is a monster skewer. I've got the attack on f7 for good measure as well. Yeah, more flair. What would you say you do here? Yeah, Admiral Stapler resigns. Let's see if knight a5 is the move. Yep. Yeah. So I shouldn't go knight g5. That's the thing. I mean, it's not a big mistake or anything. It demands a very specific response for black, but black should go knight a5 here. This only came back to me after I had captured on this square. It's remarkable how similar that is to the two knights defense line, though, which goes as follows, guys. Bishop c4, knight f6, knight g5. This line's fine for black if you know what you're doing. If you don't, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah, so after takes in this two knights defense line, most amateurs, if they're unfamiliar with this line, they invariably play knight takes d5, and then white has the pure fried liver or the lolly with d4, which is supposed to even be better than the fried liver, but both I think are pretty optimistic and good for white. But one of the strongest moves is instead of taking the pawn, playing knight a5. There's a couple other moves too, but knight a5, attacking the bishop. So similar situation we got into here, where if black resists the temptation to take the pawn back and instead attacks the bishop, well, they stand a good chance of obtaining a reasonable position here. I mean, I could try to do something like this and attack f7 again, but take. I think even an in-between move like this, hitting the queen. Let's say I take with the queen. You can see the engine absolutely loves this position for black. Black's going to have good compensation. Two bishops. My development's pretty poor. This is also similar to the two knights defense line. Yeah, the Ulvestad. Yeah. Or is the Ulvestad knight a5 or is it the b5 variation? Or the knight d4 line? I can't remember. So, yeah, Admiral Stapler, I think the issue is you probably stumbled into this without considering knight g5, so you played a natural move. Yeah, queen f3 or queen h5, I guess. And now I think you already have difficulties. You probably have to play the move bishop e6 here. But, at minimum, this looks really nice for white. b5 is Ulvestad. Okay, yeah. Hello, Sobels, by the way. Good to see you in the chat. All right, so a little bit of a digression there, but, those are repeated ideas. So castles would be the main move here. And just a little quiz for you guys. On castles, do you guys know why knight takes e4 is a bad move? If you're familiar with the Ruy Lopez for white or black, you should instantly know why this is a terrible move for black. Yes, bishop d5. Double attack on the knights. Watch that trap, regardless of which color you play in the Ruy Lopez. That trap will come up at some point. All right. Thanks for the game, Admiral Stapler. Thanks for tuning in today. Oh, Schrodinger's Queen. Okay, I always have tough games against Schrodinger's Queen. Yeah, we played that blindfold game last time. Okay, let me play knight f3 against you here. I got to go to my A material against Schrodinger's Queen. Thanks to Schrodinger's for tuning in on a weekly basis, it seems to me. You're always in here challenging. You love to see it. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and play. You know what? Let's go rook e1. This is a bit more of a old-fashioned move. d4, I think, quite honestly, is maybe the slightly better move. But I learned this many, many moons ago, and I still like to play it. I actually have a game with Danny Wrench in this line. From like the World Open in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, back in 2007-ish, 2008. D5. Wow, this is an aggressive move. I do not trust this move. I do not think this is a good move. But it only matters if I can prove it. Because I've got this bishop here, so I think a very natural thing to do now would be to move this knight. Like knight e5 is absolutely screaming at me. I'm going to do it. Because this alignment just bodes well for white, with this bishop being undefended. Very hard for black to ever release the tension. They just have to deal with the pressure here. And even if black takes, I get to increase the pressure on the pawn. So I feel like I should have a big edge if I play this right. Okay, there. So first thing I see is I can probably just take this right now. And I think I'm going to do that. This is defended. So unless black gets really creative here, I think at minimum I'm going to win a pawn out of this. And probably still have some residual pressure. Rook e8. Okay. Okay. I could maybe make this fly, but, you know, knight g4 looks obvious here. Bishop f4. Let's go bishop f4. Why aren't I in the I Am Not a GM tournament? I was not invited. I don't think they invite past champions. So I won the first version of it, but the winner of the second version, I Am Melina, he was also not invited. So I think that's kind of the model that they're going with for I Am Not a GM. I might be interested in playing some, you know, winner's circle event where like maybe the winner of this current I Am Not a GM and the past two winners, myself and Melina, play some sort of round robin. That would be fun. Yeah, I'm not that worried about g5. I did see g5. I think I have a lot of good moves there. Queen g4 for one thing. It's a very loose move for black. Queen g4 is probably decent. Maybe there's bishop c8. Even queen h5, though. I'm not going to sweat it. I think I could even play like knight g4 against g5. But we'll see. Schrodinger's queen might play it. I mean, the lower you tick down on the clock in a situation like this, sometimes people do drastic moves like that. All right, so instead knight c6. I think this is probably the move here. This looks pretty darn strong. Yeah, let's just push and fork. If take, that's a monster pawn on b7 that I'm about ready to rescue too with bishop takes d5. This looks resignable for Schrodinger's. Take that. Yeah, black's down 2 pawns, facing the pair of bishops. No time. Okay, thank you for the game, Schrodinger's. Let's take a quick look. I've never seen d5 in that position. This is standard. Black inevitably takes here. Yeah, looks like d5 is just not a great decision. Trying to solve the problems in the center immediately, but black is lagging a bit in development, I would say, just because white has rook e1 in, and introducing this favorable alignment creates a lot of problems, because if black moves this knight, they're going to lose the pawn on d5. So I don't know. I mean, I would probably lose this position to you, Schrodinger's, because you're a good player, and if you had my position, you'd be putting me under significant pressure too. We'll just look at g5 real quick because I know a couple of you guys were asking about it. I see the point. You know, it's good you guys are thinking about this move because it tries to deflect the bishop from guarding the knight. But as you can see, a lot of good options for white. Yeah, I was mentioning queen g4, even this one, because I would imagine this is probably going to lose tactically. Yeah, something like here, a knight g6 check. Too much piece activity going on for white. So just tough for black. The damage has been done here. Okay, thanks for the game, Schrodinger's. Let's go to the next game. Mennonite, you're up. Let's play in English in this game. C4. Greg Shahadi was invited. Yes, that makes sense because he's never got close to winning. I am not a GM. Hello, Orion. Happy Sunday to you as well. Happy birthday to Long Kiem, by the way. I'm not taking custom challenges, but feel free to challenge if you like. Okay, let's cackle here. You get this position a lot if you play these like pseudo-Catalan positions. So I'm going to go d4, knight bd2, e4, break in the center. Okay, interesting. A lot of people play b6 there, trying to solve the problems kind of gradually. Now, if you're black in this position, you do not want to play b5. b5 is about the worst thing you can do because you're going to weaken that c6 pawn. All right. So my opponent's kind of trying to trade down here, which makes sense. I don't know if I want to allow that trade. I'm a little torn here, to be honest. Knight e5, rook d1, all those moves make sense to me. e4, although e4 loses a pawn, actually, so I shouldn't do that. Let's play rook d1. Hello, John Carter. Thank you for tuning in from Cali, sunny California. It's pretty mild here today, I gotta say. It's overcast. Not bad, though. I don't do well in the extreme heat, so that is A-okay by me. John, did you lose some weight? I don't think so. I'm usually in the 155 to 160 pound range. I have been running more, so maybe I've been slimming down a little bit. I like to run in the summer. Okay, my opponent's insistent on a queen trade. I'm going to play an awkward move in order to avoid the queen trade. I do not want black reducing the tension in the position because now knight e5 could be annoying for my opponent. Oh, yeah, DC is humid. Absolutely. I've been there a few times in the past couple of years. Wow, black allows the knight jump. Audacious decision. Now, can I trap the queen? I don't see an immediate trap here, folks, but it's close. Ooh, it's tantalizingly close. I guess black's point is if I move the knight, they're going to take on d4. Okay, this is a position where you have to be careful not to think too long because you're so obsessed with finding a refutation that you lose on time. Oh, it looks so suspicious for my opponent, though. But I think their logic might check out. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play queen e1. Take that. Queen e1. Retreat to attack. Point being, I want my rook to defend here. I want to get the rook involved. All right, takes. Probably take with the rook now. Again, I don't think I'm going to win the queen. Black can back off at this point. Or do that. Okay, let's go here. Black still has an issue developing this. Ooh, maybe I made a mistake, though. I might have just made an error. Slight error. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 175% humidity was a joke from whoever put that in the chat. All right. Rook c1. Again, black playing with fire, but really daring me to find a refutation. I'm not seeing it. Let's go here. Let's do that. Okay, now this is too far. This has gone too far. Give me your queen. Now I got to win a time scramble, though. Easier said than done sometimes, right? Ha, gotcha. I have 13 seconds left. I mean, this is going to be tricky still. Make no mistake about it. Take that. Now, if he takes e2, I can go queen f3. Let's get this one pair of rooks off the board. Oh, he says GG. I can't even type GG. I don't have the time. Oh, okay. Mennonite is nice. They didn't try to challenge me in this time scramble. I mean, I would have tried to go for the dirty flag if I were playing black. It would have been interesting. I don't know. Do you guys think I could have pulled that off? The nice thing about pre-moves on Lichess is you don't lose any time for them. So, I don't know. I'm borderline. I think that's like a 50-50. Whether I could have pulled that off. On chess.com, I would lose this, yes. Because the pre-moves there are 0.1. 1/10 of a second. I'd be trying filthy moves at that point. Yeah, the thing is, black does have a rook. So if black can like time some sort of rook check at some point, then, or some move that like slows down my pre-move, cancels my pre-move, then maybe. All right, let's take a very quick look at this. I don't think I played the middle game all that well. I mean, this was interesting what black was doing. Queen e4, like trying to force a queen trade. Rook d3, queen d2. Okay, the engine doesn't mind queen d2. Doesn't especially like queen e1. You know what move I was kind of worried about here? Queen c5. Yeah, queen c5. Right after I played knight e5, I realized that this would be a double attack, and probably this is the only good move here to defend both pieces. So what I would have had to retreat, and then black looks okay. So yeah, thanks for the game, Mennonite. You were doing fine up until queen b8. You played chicken a little bit too long. And you know what happens if you do that? You crash. So got a bail here, queen b6. I didn't actually see like a good move after queen b6. I was probably going to sack the d-pawn, something like this. But still complicated. Thank you very much for the game. Sad Pahasa. Okay, let's play a bird in this opening. F4. Oh, thank you, Shak Scooty. Says easy win as fast as you are. I have gotten faster, but I don't know. I think that's a 50-50 chance right there. Oh, that's too funny, Max Hurdley. I'm just seeing your message on YouTube. Okay, I think black wants to go for e5. Now, if I could teleport my knight here, that would be fantastic. If I play knight d4 or knight g5, what are the chances that black blunders and plays e5? I don't think the chance is great. But you know what? For the lulz, let's try it. Come on, go g6 or something. You just want to defend that pawn, right? This is a... Okay, well, cooperative. I was going to say, knight d4 was like a pure coffee house move, but it worked out. I preyed on black's natural inclination to want to enter like a Leningrad Dutch position. And we got the knight to e6 after all. I'm sorry, Sad Pasa. I feel a little bit dirty for that. I mean, I'm not that sorry, but I do feel a little dirty. Knight d4 was just not a good move. If black had moved the knight, my knight would have been kind of adrift, you know? Pure coffee house style. I mean, it kind of stands to reason why black would play that move, G6, because it did look a lot like a Leningrad Dutch. Since you have pawns here and here, it made sense that black was going for the fianchetto. Okay, black's trying to attack now. If I take here, and then there's knight f2 coming. Probably just play c3 here. Buzzkill move, kill the fun. John, do you ever casually read chess books for fun? Like while at the beach? Yes. You know, I used to a lot. I got to admit, and this knight is a problem now. I got to admit, I have not read too many chess books in recent years. I kind of stopped buying them because I have so many. And I moved last year. I downsized. I sold my place and I moved into a smaller place. And I got rid of a ton of my, well, more accurately, I put a ton of my books in storage. And it's just remarkable how easy it is to accumulate chess books. Chess books are very addicting. And you end up only reading maybe 5 to 10% of your books. So I just had too many. I had to pull the plug. Take here, I guess. But I think that's still okay. I'm going to do it. Chess books are definitely addiction, yeah. I was buying a lot in let's call it 2005 to 2015. About a 10-year range. I was buying a lot of books back then. I mean, I probably have about 300 chess books, I would say. Let's kick this one. Will I get another chance for knight e6? I can do it, but it's not mate. Maybe I can try this, though. If I get 2 devastating knight e6s in one game, oh my. Oh my. The other knight came there. Oh, jeez. No joke, chess. That might be one for the YouTube channel. Shout out to the Lichess YouTube. This has nothing to do with my opponent. The goal is not to humiliate Lichess Plays opponents. This is all for fun. But 2 devastating knight e6s, that's noteworthy, I think. Okay, thank you for the game, Set Pasa. I mean, the second one was understandable. You're busted here, but let's just see how much the computer dislikes knight d4 the first time around. Okay, it's actually not as bad as I thought. About a half pawn swing. You know, I'm giving about a half pawn advantage to try for this cheapo. That's funny that one of the best moves here for black is knight b8. Top move. At least as things stand. Knight b8. Well, you know, if I knew that, if I knew knight b8 was the recommended move, I definitely would have played knight d4. Because who's going to retreat their knight to b8 here to defend this and defend e6 especially? But yeah, I would have expected this or this. Okay, knight c5 looks a lot more normal. But sometimes you get lucky. And you get to trap your opponent's queen. And then deliver mate on that square. All right, thanks again for the game, Sad Pasa. On to the next one here. Border Collie. All right, Border Collie, 1850. Lovely breed of dog. I always think of Lassie. Someone in my building has a Border Collie. It's a very nice dog. It's jet black, too. I think it's a Border Collie. Maybe it's a mix, but it's like a jet black one. It's really interesting to look at. All right, let's go f5. Kind of playing an aggressive setup here. Go knight f6. When you get the f-pawn in front of the knight in this type of position, you're trying for more than usual. All right. I could go knight e5. White's going to angle for d4, no doubt. So, nah, let's actually play this move. I'm going to go after the c4 pawn. Now, remember this pattern, d4, d5? The important thing is I can take en passant against that. So I'm not losing a piece here. I just imagine John reading My Great Predecessors at the beach and understanding everything without a board. You know, I can do that if I'm really reading actively. Like I can read chess books without a board. That's probably no surprise. I think a lot of decent players can do that. But I don't like to. I I much prefer to use a board, and I look at the diagrams just as often as you guys do. So, let's try to castle queenside here. I don't think this is like the best plan, but I'm gonna try it. You're gonna win against me, says Shade on YouTube. All right, bring it on. How do you decide which book to read next? Yeah, I think that's another dilemma. You have to decide if you're reading chess books for fun or for improvement. Yeah, I like what White's doing here, by the way. This is a good plan. You know what? I'm going to let White take the light square bishop if they want. I don't like this knight getting to d5, so I think this is actually a pretty good bargain for me. I think I'm slightly worse now, though, I got to say. I'm going to try for a speculative attack once again for you guys. I mean, certainly opening books have been historically one of the most popular genres in chess, but I do think that market is getting a bit eaten by digital books, digital chess books and courses. The problem with opening books these days is a lot of them are simply out of fashion by the time they go to print, and there's no way to update them. So the books that I've found to be most interesting in chess are often books on more timeless aspects of the game, so openings, middle games, that sort of thing. End games and middle games, I should say. And also, especially biographies and autobiographies. I really like chess biographies, autobiographies. Very interesting. Can I go here? Like, my favorite chess book of all time is Mikhail Tal's My Life in Games, or Life in Games of Mikhail Tal. This move looks super interesting, guys. I really want to play it. I'm just trying to decide if it works tactically. Well, you guys know the drill. I bamboozled my last opponent with a pair of knights. Maybe I can do the same here. This is pretty transparent, though. If your opponent literally plays knight d2, like, you're going to see what they're up to. Now, if white takes this one, importantly, I'm taking here and allowing the rook to link up with the knight to defend it. Have I read The Immortal Game? Yes, I think I read The Immortal Game several years back. I don't remember much about it, I got to be honest, though. All right, let's check. Okay, now I can take and play knight d3. Just thinking if there's anything better. Nah, probably not. Yeah, let's go here. This dark square bishop is strong enough. I should probably go take it. I also have this check, though. Maybe I throw that in first. Just king g1. I mean, it doesn't seem to do much for me. Oh, wait. If I take... Hold on. There's bishop f5. I was like, something is speaking to me here that I got to be careful in this position. So let me go check. Okay, I'm glad my sense of danger kicked in there, because I was mostly thinking offensive, but in fact, I had to pay attention defensively. And even here, queen takes e4. So I can't take the bishop. And if I can't take the bishop, that might actually be a problem. This is not simple. My time is running down. All right, I'm going to have to give something up here. Yeah. Now I got to go for a dirty flag. I got to attempt it. I might not even succeed. White's not taking my rook, which is kind of funny. Oh, give me that. Give me that. That got weird. Thank you for the game border, Collie. That got weird. This might actually be a big blunder by me. Knight d3. Let's check. No. Wait a second. We got to figure this out. Here. No, that is a big blunder. Okay. Yeah, knight d3. That's very surprising. Knight d3 is simply a blunder. Surprising. That might be karma from the previous game. That I actually blunder on a seemingly obvious knight fork. It's the type of thing like in a longer game. Undoubtedly, I think we would have both appreciated that. Or I would have appreciated that from the black side. It looks so obvious to play this move. But due to the pressure on f5, that's the whole issue here. Even after throwing in queen e4. But again, I can't take this right away because of bishop takes. And those issues on that diagonal persist here because I still can't play this due to queen takes. And now there's a pin. Always play king b1 or king b8. Yes, I can see why king b8 is the move here. And this is clearly better for black. But you're facing the two bishops. Good reminder to be careful. Now I'm losing after this. But fortunately, I managed to confuse the issue enough. White didn't take the rook right away, which... Oh, actually, that's justified. Or f3. F3, didn't even see that move. So Border Collie was rounding up my pieces here. But I developed a little bit of pressure in time pressure here, mutual time pressure, and then white dropped the rook, and it was sayonara. Tough one. You always got to be vigilant in this game. Thanks again, Border Collie, for the game. Okay, levitating. Ooh, levitating. Yeah, we've traded games before. Let's play e4 against levitating. Should I go for an open Sicilian? Let's do it. Bishop g5. Let's go. Some classic theory here. Theory has advanced so much in this line over the years. I mean, there's a lot of theory in this when I was playing this variation regularly. Nowadays, there's an insane amount. Will my opponent play the brown variation, g5? Yes. This is a pretty interesting line. I played this from the black side before, too. Like, you sacrifice a pawn to get this outpost square. Often black can recover this pawn anyways. Like, if black takes, I'm not going to take back. I'm going to play bishop g3. Oh, thank you, Shak. Says, I told you are fast. Thank you. John Stevenson on YouTube says, some of my chess books are fascinating and some are as exciting as watching paint dry. Yeah. I think we all have a few chess books like that. Queen c5 is interesting. I somehow feel like that move is a slight mistake, but I can't exactly tell you why. I mean, h3 seems obvious. Taking on e5 maybe. Let's play h3. I don't know. This might be a theoretical move, but black paused for a while before playing it, so let's see what happens. Cohen, I see your comment on YouTube. How can I play him? Go to Lichess and challenge me. I'm Fins, F-I-N-S. All right, take here probably. Yeah, take with the pawn, kind of repair things. Really? Okay, I don't think I mind this happening. Yeah, black's going for the blockade still. But now, because I have the f-pawn at all times, I can go for an f4 type move. Let's play this one first. Maybe threatening this in the future. I don't know how devastating it is right now, but I think queen b6 could be annoying for black. One problem in this line is if black spends a little bit too long delaying castling, they might have issues getting that king to safety. All right, let's go here. I want to defend this. Yeah, because now it looks incumbent on black to try to get castled here pretty darn soon. Now, do I play knight e2 here? Or do I play queen b6? Or queen d4 even? Queen d4 is interesting too. I think I'm going to go knight e2. Okay, okay. Now let's go here. Interesting. f4. Sure, let's play it. Now, which way to take? That, too, is an interesting question. Not sure. I'll take with the rook. It's the most active. I have a feeling pawn takes might also be good, but I'm not sure. That's the name of the game. I'm just not sure. So if take here, is it possible that black will castle kingside? Even though we wrote off castling kingside a while ago, I wouldn't be shocked if black does it here. Because where else are you going to put the king? You can't castle queenside. That's completely out at this point. It's literally illegal. So black's not going to roll with the king in the center. You kind of have to connect the rook soon. So I think it's decently likely that we'll see that move. But I think I have good attacking chances, even if that occurs. I just have to figure out how to execute it. Okay, there. But now what if I do this? It's also knight d4. Nah, this move seems most logical. Let's play that. Whoa, rook c6. I wasn't expecting that. Isn't that just a blunder? Take? I'm on your queen. I'm on your queen, bub. And if take here, take, king e7. Oh no, fork. I take the rook. And if take here, I can take here. So no in-between move is going to save my opponent. Not that this, even king takes would be bad, but. Okay, I think levitating is getting brought back to earth here. Yeah. GG. Tough one. Let's take a quick look. I'm kind of curious about the theoretical status of this position, queen c5. I always thought taking here was the move. Yep. That is played most often. So queen c5 has been played in one game. Looks a little dubious, though. Probably not for the reason I played it, though. Queen e3. Okay, yeah. I briefly looked at this. I thought you might go for something like this. Or this. Evidently, this is okay for you if you play this way. And then what about later on? Really doesn't like bishop g5. Wants pawn takes g5. That's a common thing, attacking the bishop. Yeah, I think this position is tough because really, black wants this position, but with the pawn on g2, so the knight can never be attacked with f4. With f4 in the mix, it does feel like black's always fighting from behind here. Okay, it approves of many of these moves. White keeps the edge. That said, I mean, if black does castle, that's the move I was kind of calling for here for black. It's not super simple. Castles, I was thinking knight g3, but I was also wondering, can black actually do this here? Oh, probably not because of rook g1 at the end. Yeah. I have this move, sneaky. I'm just realizing. So even if black castled short, there would have been some issues, but evidently black can maybe hold here with crafty play. It's about a +1, +1.5 edge for white. Still interesting, still a game. Okay, thanks for the game, Levitating. Let's keep it moving here. Frenetic Pawn. Good luck to you. We are in the second half of today's stream. This has flew by. I'm looking down at the clock for the first time. Let's play e5 against Frenetic Pawn. Hope you guys are all enjoying yourself and enjoying your Sunday. Should I play a Stafford? Let's play a Stafford. Frenetic Pawn is like, oh god, like even these IMs play the Stafford Gambit. Can't you cut me a break? Okay, now I'll go for this center fork trick. This is known to be completely fine for black. At least an equalizer. Always just d4 against the Petrov. I'll show you guys a pretty straightforward anti-Stafford Gambit line too, by the way, after this game. Educational time. Remind me if I forget. There's a line that I've just recommended to some of my students, and I think it kills almost all of black's fun in the Stafford. And pretty much just takes them into a comfortable position for white. It's not going to like maximize the edge as you might in the Stafford, but it's definitely good enough. John, what is your favorite flag? My favorite flag is when I get to flag my opponents. So when the flag appears on their side of the clock, not mine. All right, let's play wild here. Oh, Frenetic Pawn wants nothing to do. This is probably an unsound sacrifice, but Frenetic Pawn is... This is a player, I think, who's been scarred by gambits before in tricky sacrifices. I can empathize with that. We've often experienced things like that in our chess career. Knight d4. Should I play that? Knight d4, I think gives white a chance to defend. But you know what? Let's do it. Forward. Zeus says, against the Stafford, I always play f3. It's one of the best moves by computer. Oh, you mean, yeah, I know which line you're talking about. Yeah, that's interesting. Ooh, knight e2. Okay, so this is an attack on my queen. Can I take here? You guys know me. I like to dabble with these type of sacrifices in these positions. Take, check. I'm not really sold on that. Take. That's not that exciting, though. We can do better. We can do better than that, folks. Let's go here. Let's centralize. Maybe I should have considered queen takes d2, but I think, likewise, that wasn't quite interesting enough for us. Okay, this might be Frenetic's last chance to take my bishop. I'm offering it up, but Frenetic knows what the idea is, to attack down the h-file. No capture still. No capture in sight. All right, I'm going to try one more time. Bishop d6. Uno mas. Let's pre-move. Still interesting. I mean, at this point, it definitely looks dangerous for white to take. I'm pretty much fully coordinated here. But if take, knight g5, there is queen takes g4 as a threat. It's still up in the air. Yeah, he's not biting. Frenetic Pawn is... Oh, there we go. Okay, I love it. I love the fighting spirit. You got to go knight g5 here. That's the only attempt in this position. And I'm thinking against that, I'm probably going to play rook h4. You know why? Oh, okay. Bishop g5. Yeah, I think this move, while interesting, is just probably not so great. But let me think how I'm going to play against it. Oh, I see a little pattern here. Oh, I was so looking forward to a different line. I'll show you guys after the game. What would have happened after bishop takes d8? That's a little quiz for you guys. Do I have any mating ideas here? Almost. Not quite. Let's go here. Oh, you shall see. You'll see. All right, check. There's also rook takes f3 if I want it. I think rook takes f3 is GG. Well, white has queen e8, but I'm covering that square a couple times. Yeah, now check. And mate. All right, thank you for the game, Frenetic Pawn. Yeah, I made that unsound sacrifice early on. h5. Engine's not going to like it. Engines hate it. h5, fishing pole attack. Engines hate it. So yeah, if you're going to take, generally best to take early in these types of situations before your opponent gets fully developed. I will admit, though, I mean, this, even though we've got the eval here, this is still scary looking for white. So we both get double question marks because the engine's just like, dudes, come on, the bishop is hanging. White, just take it. Black, why are you even letting white take it? So just double question mark after double question mark for both sides. Yeah, still wants you to take it. Yeah, and now, I mean, to your credit, Frenetic, you take it. Here, I'll quiz you guys on this position. So on knight g5, I was thinking about playing rook h4 to stop stop queen takes g4 and look for rook h8 with the double up, because that would invite the very obvious looking g3, and then I was gonna pre-move queen h1 mate. I was gonna play rook h4 and then pre-move queen h1 mate like a boss and see if it lands. Pre-move the illegal move that only executes if they play g3, but that probably wouldn't have happened. Now on bishop g5, yeah, I just take and okay, here's the quiz. If white plays bishop takes d8, how does black win by force from here? A couple of you guys were saying f takes g2, which certainly looks good, but then there's queen g4 check. Keeps the game going. How can black win by force from this position? Yes, very good. Rook h1. Sorry for the YouTube chat if this is a little bit delayed. I actually think YouTube might be slightly ahead of Twitch. But yeah, rook h1, typical sacrificial idea to be able to swing the queen over with check. I mean, white can throw the bishop in the way to delay mate by one move. We get this, and then either queen takes g2 or queen h1. Take your pick, with the pawn guarding the e2 flight square. So I do think, yeah, you kind of have to play your knight somewhere. Knight g5, knight e5 even. Okay, just to throw that in the way. Ooh, interesting. This is best according to the engine. And black has good compensation here for the piece. So, yeah, if you're going to take that bishop, got to do it earlier, frenetic pawn. But it's tough, I fully admit. You're playing an IM, and you know it's an aggressive idea. All right, now I'll show you guys my 30-second Stafford Gambit response. So when they play this and then knight c6, I would recommend just playing d4 here. Unless you want to try to refute it, then by all means play knight takes c6 and go into all theory there. But if you play d4, there's honestly like not that many lines that you have to know, and it's comfortable for white. One thing is if black goes knight takes e4 here, queen e2 is very good for white. If the knight moves, you have knight takes c6. If d5, you can trade here and then play f3. Wins the piece. So that's no problem. If black takes and then does this, you can play either bishop c4 or queen d5. I think white has a small edge in both cases. I know a lot of Stafford Gambit players play queen e7, but you can play knight takes c6 now. I think this is actually a slightly diluted version of the Stafford. Or you can just develop. Let them take here. Here, too, I think white's a little bit better without any stress. So that's one line of many where if you consistently knock your head against the Stafford, you hate going into all the main lines, go ahead and play d4. You can also play d4 here, yes, on move 3. This is a main line of the Petrov. Magnus played this against Nepo in one of the World Championship games that he won. Okay, thanks again, Frenetic Pawn. Let's keep it rolling here. Vienna Gambit Master. So we're going to see e4 here. That's probably what everyone thinks when they face Vienna Gambit. I'll play a Caro-Kann. I haven't played a Caro-Kann today. Robert says, if you have to blunder, make sure you blunder aggressively. Wise words, yeah. You might as well go all in. Okay, so this is pretty typical out of this line. Now, I think I want to take and play bishop g4 is the play. Yep, bishop c6. I think I go queen b6 here. We'll leave the pin for one move. Hey, Yo-Yo, thank you for subbing to the Lichess channel. Much appreciated. Supporting the channel. You'll love to see it. Okay, I could take and try to win a pawn. That's interesting. Oh, he takes that way. Okay, so white knows that they got to keep this defending here. All right, fine. Let's go e6. Now I'm just going to try to get my knight to f5. Don't really like f4 for white. I don't think that helps them very much. I mean, they might park the bishop on e3 and just try to firm everything up, but very, very passive piece there. Now I can take this bad boy. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Yo-Yo, once again. Glad you're liking my videos. Queen b4 comes to mind here, but also just bishop e7. Let's go bishop b7. Queen here, I'm simply going to castle. Shock Scooty says, I think we should just keep refuting the Stafford until it finally disappears. I take it you're not a Stafford Gambit fan with that. You know, the Stafford is a pretty interesting gambit. I will say that. I think it's one of the trickiest gambits out there for sure. All right, I'm going to play enterprising here. We're going to go queen e4, aggressive. Kind of thinking like knight h4 is an idea we might want to pursue. I think the problem with the Stafford Gambit now is just the huge exposure it's had because of Eric's efforts has basically made it lose a lot of its appeal in like critical or longer games for black. You know? Like people know about it now. I mean, it was previously an obscure gambit, but now people know about it. I mean, it's still tricky, don't get me wrong, if white's entering the mainline gambit, and this is checkmate here, and doesn't have sufficient knowledge, but it's lost a lot of its surprise value. Almost all its surprise value, I'd say, if people follow chess. All right, thank you, Vienna Gambit Master. Yeah, tricky position after queen e4. I mean, you're down a pawn. You're kind of suffering here. What was I thinking you should do in this position? Maybe knight c5? Maybe this? Yeah, it's not good, though. Yeah, queen f3, and I can keep this move in mind. Oh, that's a creative defense. Knight d3. Idea here, knight e1. The knight goes all the way back here to try to defend the g2 square. Okay, that's pretty hard to see. Yeah, so I think losing that pawn on d4, and honestly, this whole setup, this c5 move against the Caro in the advanced variation, if you're white, you really want to know what to do here. You can take the pawn. I mean, that's one of the critical moves, taking the pawn. The most critical move, I'd say. When you go c3 and we get into this exchange advanced French style position, but one where black gets to liberate their light square bishop, I don't think black hates this at all. I know some of you out there play these types of positions for black. I think black's already really, really comfortable. So maybe look into those d takes c5 lines, Vienna Gambit Master. All right, thank you for the game. Here we go. Depressed Pumpkin. Good luck to you. Are you there, Pumpkin? Incidentally, Pumpkin was the name of a hamster I had as a kid. Rest in peace, Pumpkin. Pumpkin had some issues, I gotta say. I really felt pretty bad for it. And I personally haven't had like any pets really since then. Was the hamster depressed? Honestly, I think it was. Because it would go at the top of its cage. It would climb to the top of its cage and start gnawing on the bars, especially at night. I mean, I felt pretty bad for it. It would do that consistently, too. That wasn't like a one-time thing. What else did it do? That was the main thing that left an impression. Let's take this one. Ooh, takes with the pawn. Let's go here. You've been carrying that with you for a while. I know. You know what's funny? I also I brought home a few crayfish, or depending upon where you are, I guess in the world, this may have different names for it. Crawfish, crawdads, people call them here, especially if you're in the South. Up north, northern U.S., we'd call them crayfish. I'm kind of curious what they're called like in other parts of the world too. So if you guys Google, let me put it in the chat, crayfish. So when I was in 4th grade, for a project, our teacher had us take home crayfish and like raise them. And you want to talk about like a terrible pet. Like you can't interact with them at all, really. But that was one of the other pets that I had in that era. That was probably, yeah, I think that was 4th grade that we took them home. Maybe 3rd grade. I don't even remember what we were supposed to do with them. I think we were literally just supposed to keep them alive for a few days. Crawdaddies, creef. River lobster. Oh, interesting. John had a pet pumpkin. Came up a pawn here. I think Depressed Pumpkin's going to try to double the rooks. I want to gradually start advancing my pawn, so let's go b5. It does create a backward pawn here, but I think it's fine. I've always felt sorry for the goldfish you can win as prizes, as little plastic bags at fairs and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Some of the small fish, I agree. Can go here now. Oh, I did have a beta fish for a while in college. That was actually a pretty cool pet. Very colorful. His name was Spartan. I don't even know if I should play that move. I'm going to go back. I don't really want my knight having to go run amok. John, do you ever suffer from tilt, and any advice coping with it? Yes, I think everyone suffers from tilt. Advice towards coping with it? You know, I'd say the main thing is just playing shorter sessions. I think most tilt arises because people play for far too long. Creative move here is if I take here, take there with check, but I'll just take back. So if you naturally shorten your sessions and maybe even employ a stop loss, like say you just resolve to quit after 2 losses in a row, no matter what happens, that can really mitigate it. Because, you know, I think with online chess in particular, you got to be careful. It's so accessible. You can just fire up a game at any time control at any time of the day. It becomes most about managing your exposure to that. Oh, that's really cool. Repo Sandman says, got a goldfish at a party, and it got really old. Turned out it was a koi fish. Gave it to our friend who has a koi pawn after 5 years. Nice. Then you can go visit it from time to time. Depressed Pumpkin started to think about the time, but lost the queen in the process. Do you practice regularly or daily? Maybe not anymore, but in the past, before you reached IM? Yeah, definitely. You know, even for me, like chess is more or less a daily thing, even if I'm not playing it. I'm always looking at it, looking at student games, casually following top level events, all sorts of stuff like that. This is a nice mate, by the way. Get this little pattern here. Thank you, Depressed Pumpkin, for the game. So you played, I think, a pretty normal setup here. It is kind of an achievement for black in these QGD positions to have the bishop outside the chain. Hence why you see a lot of the mainline theory involving white trying to prevent that in some way. So, for example, bishop f4, c6, queen c2, trying to beat black to the punch before black plays bishop f5. So you could maybe look into that. One of the major plans here, actually, in this type of position, Depressed Pumpkin, is to play for a so-called minority attack. where you use a minority of pawns on the queen side to attack a majority. So going after this. So you would try to play b4. That's why we're playing rook b1, having the rook defend the pawn, with the goal of eventually advancing here and trying to inflict some sort of weakness on the black structure, like a backward pawn. So you can look into that plan if you want. Thanks for the game. Okay, Pawn 76. Good luck to you. Another Lichess patron. You love to see that. Thank you for supporting Lichess. All right, Caro-Kann. Okay, someone told me, okay, I'm going to borrow an idea from one of my students. What is that gambit he was mentioning to me? I got to remember it. Oh, it's an obscure gambit. I want to play it, though. Can't quite remember it, though. It's not bishop c4 right away. Dang, I'm just not remembering it. I don't want to spend too much time here. Ugh. All right. We're going to play the hillbilly attack. I don't think it's the hillbilly attack, though. My student just mentioned this gambit to me in passing, but I honestly can't remember it for the life of me. But we'll play the hillbilly. This is fun. Yeah, it's not this, though. It's really similar. Yeah, unfortunately for me, or for our entertainment, my opponent's kind of rewarding me for playing the hillbilly and allowing this. It's not immediate mate, but it's close. How to follow up the hillbilly here? Probably like d3. Get the dark square bishop involved. Yeah, sorry for tanking for like a minute there. I really wanted to play that gambit for you guys because I thought it'd be interesting, but I couldn't remember. Okay, takes. All right, so now I can go chase the enemy king. Check, and then bishop f4. I'm just thinking what my follow-up would be after that. Let's do it. Pretty forcing. Force king b6, and now I probably will play bishop takes c8 and try to get the queen back to b3 next. Could also try for some sort of like knight development, but I think this is the most obvious thing to do. Now, I mean, black could take here if black wanted, but again, there's queen b3 coming with check. I could have gone bishop f4 first, yes. However, even though that threatens mate in 1, the move that I think black probably should play is queen e8. So bishop f4, queen e8, and then black gains the d8 square for their king. We'll look at that after the game. Oh, now black plays queen e8, but a little too late here. Check. Take. And this is made on the next move, bishop c7 or bishop d2. All right, pawn 76, thank you for the game. Yes, so queen h5. I think you just missed that I was threatening on f7. Remember, always watch those long-range diagonal attacks. So you want to go g6 here, and I think white usually goes queen h4 at this point. You can develop, defend the pawn. This is dubious for white, but it's a fun gambit. I gotta look up that gambit for next time, though. I'm gonna look at what my student had said to me, because we looked at it briefly, but it's been about a month, almost a month since we last discussed it, and I can't remember what the line was. So yeah, you guys were asking about this moment. It's possible bishop f4 is also good. It's good that you guys are thinking that way to take away these flight squares and threaten this, but I didn't see a good response to queen e8. allowing this to come back, which honestly I think is what black should do right here. Seems the computer concurs. This black's king is extremely awkward right here. Did I have a better way to play this? No, this is good. Knight h3 top move. I don't know why. Yeah, it's just saying white should develop the attack somehow. Do you concur? Yes, I concur. That reminds me of, are you quoting from the movie Catch Me If You Can? Classic. Yeah. So I do think this bishop e6 move right away is just a better way to prosecute this attack, to use that terminology again, because then queen b3 is coming and it's going to be rough for black. Okay, thanks for the game, Pawn 76. Here we go. Yeah, that book is really good too, Catch Me If You Can. But you know what? I actually looked into the what is the guy's name? Frank is this Frank Abernathy? Is that his name? Abagnale. Frank Abagnale. Thank you. Hero Garp, are you there? Oh, William. Is it Frank or William? Frank is right, isn't it? It's all three. Right, that's why he was so slippery. Okay, Hero Garp is not there. Let's go on to the next game. Hello, Honey on YouTube, by the way. I see you. Good luck, Ea Brodus. Yes, he has a talk on YouTube. It's like a Google talk or something like that, which is fascinating. I mean, the guy is an amazing, he's a real guy. And as is probably obvious. I mean, he's a fantastic orator. But I've read a lot about him, and it's not even clear at this point in his life, after having been arrested, spending time in prison. It's not even clear like how much he's actually telling the truth about in hindsight. So I won't go down that rabbit hole, but if you guys are interested in the Catch Me If You Can, oh, this is a 5-0 game. Thank you guys. I didn't notice that, but we'll try to play it quickly. If you guys are interested in Catch Me If You Can, you should dig into that. Yeah, Frank Abagnale. In a way, the ultimate con is pretending to be a con man, right? Did he pretend to be a pilot, really? Well, that's one of the things that I think is actually up for debate. Like, it was, even in his book, I think it was heavily exaggerated exactly how much he played the roles of these various characters in his life. I'm not going to take this pawn yet. We're going to hold off on that. This is a classic thing you do in this Jinji Indian. This is one of my favorite lines in chess, by the way, where you take on c3 and you double up their pawns. But you got to try to keep the position relatively closed because white does have the bishop pair here. All right, I think I'm going to take now, though, because I'm going to make it difficult for white to castle. If Abradis castles, they run into knight takes e2. Oh, you're trying to knight e6 me. I see what you're up to. Well, let's go here. All right, I'm happy to take that. Let's take this and let's gather the c4 pawn as well. So I'm up 2 pawns now. Could castle here. Castling queenside is actually a pretty normal decision in this type of position. Rook c1, though, there might be a little bit of pressure. Let's play b6. Let's do that. I'm honestly thinking maybe I just do this and go after the pawn on e6. Got to challenge 45 plus 45 and hope it works. Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, lots of pawns on dark squares against the dark square bishop. Absolutely. I wonder what my opponent wants to do here. Maybe he's just trying to stop me from castling. But you know what? I think I'm actually going to play this way. I don't see a defense for white to this. Yeah, you should check it out, Scoochie Man. This is a fun opening to play. The Jinji Indian, characterized by the quick fianchetto against d4. It's really only playable against d4, c4, knight c3. Then you stab with c5, and when they push, I actually played the move order wrong. I should have taken right away. I don't know why I played f5, but you take right away, and then you play f5. Produces fascinating positions. I think because I was talking about catch me if you can, I mixed up my move order. Yes, sometimes known as the beefeater variation. Yes. It's named after a gin for some reason. All right. Well, I succeeded in playing several consecutive knight moves. We're going to keep it going. I might even take here next. Watch out for forks, though. White's got to dodge some forks. Is there a Tanqueray opening? I don't think so, but you can invent it if you want. There we go. How many consecutive knight moves is this? This will be the last one, unfortunately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just played 7 knight moves in a row, and I won material in the process. 7 knight moves with the same knight. This is a good move. Threatens on e7. I could castle here would be kind of a funny move. There's a funny line, to quote Eric. Yeah, I'm going to castle. I'll castle here. Now take on f2 with the rook, or do I play something? Do I try to be sneakier, like something like that? Nah. Let's take on f2 with the rook. And then I'll take this one, which conveniently guards this pawn too. And now let's go here. And assuming h4 is played to defend the bishop, ooh, white steps into a mate, or close to it. On h4, I was going to play rook a4 and then look for rook g4 to try to eliminate the last vestiges of counterplay. All right, now we just got to put the finishing touches on this. Oops, meant to push that 2 squares. Let's push this one. And mate. Okay, thank you, Aberdeus. Do remember that you should challenge 3 plus 0. If I was paying attention, I would have aborted this game. But thank you for playing fast, nonetheless. Yeah, Jinji Indian. It's a line where if white plays routine moves, I mentioned this many times before when I played this opening, but if white plays routine moves, they can easily land in a bad position. It demands some specificity by white to generate counterplay against it, honestly, because from a strategic standpoint, black's actually doing quite well despite having given up the fianchettoed bishop. Oh yeah, I actually did gain a rating point. Amazing. How did that happen? I'm actually shocked by that. There's a 900-point rating gap. The Lichess rating gods were smiling on me today. Look at that. 26.06. Yes. All right. Thanks again, Aberdeus. We got time for 2 or maybe 3 games here. Kiwi, you're up next. Yes, paid actor, yeah. Let's play at Alekhine's Defense. Let's go here. Challenge the center. Hey, what's up, Pat? Yeah, I know you like this opening. You like this opening a lot. Alekhine's Defense. White's playing kind of ambitious. You see people do this every once in a while. I don't know exactly how to refute this, so I'm just going to play some normal-looking moves to me. Mm-hmm. Bishop c4. That's probably a good move, to be honest. Slows me down a little bit. All right. Now let's go and attack this pawn. This is one of the main things when you pin this knight. As we saw in some of the other games, by the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this does look like a lot like an Alekhine Sicilian. I completely agree, James Henderson. Thank you for being a first-time chatter, by the way, on Lichess. How many viewers do we have today? We have over 200 on YouTube. Awesome. And about 400 on Twitch. That seems to be pretty consistent. You know, I don't pay too much attention to the numbers, but those of you who watch Lichess plays, I'd be kind of curious. Are those about in line with the numbers we see usually? And feel free to recommend this to any of your friends. Not only Lichess plays, but Lichess in general. It's a fantastic site, completely free. Pledges to always be free. It's for the community. Okay, now I can go after this. I can also check and win the bishop, although my knight might get trapped. The only thing I'm debating is how exposed my king is, but I think it's almost a non-factor. Yeah, let's go for the rook in the corner. But always pays to double check whether something like this can hurt you. Can you please tell TV people to stop setting up the board the wrong way, says Dr. Spot. Oh, you're okay. I see you have a thread going with someone. Yeah, that's one thing when you become a chess player, right? Like you're kind of cursed in the sense that whenever you see a chessboard in a movie or a commercial or something, just naturally one of the first things you're going to look at is if the board is set up the correct way. It's simply inevitable that you're going to look at that. It's just unconscious. Or if there's an illegal position on board, even if there is like a white square on the right. John, do you think I should look at a few lines in the wing gambit as black since I play the Sicilian, or does black get an advantage making natural moves? I think the wing gambit's a pretty dubious gambit, personally. I think you have way better options against the Sicilian. Let's take with this one and then tempt white to take here so I can go check and win all the pieces on the back rank. Well, just the bishop probably, but still pretty good. All right. Just develop now. Jobia says, I played like 15 moves OTB against a friend recently before we realized we had 2 light square bishops. Thank you for the game, Kiwi. Appreciate it. Yeah, that F4 approach, I think it is a little dubious. You can go for an early F4, but if you do, it's usually after throwing in C4. This is the 4 pawns attack. So I don't know about F4 like right there. I'm actually not even sure C5 is the best move for me here. Probably not, but you do spend an awful lot of time trying to defend your center this way. Yeah, and once you lose D4, things kind of collapse. So probably around here, you got to be pretty careful on how you're navigating this position. But honestly, it already looks like some annoying pressure to me. Yeah, let's play 2 more games. We're going to play 1 more, and then we'll do our... hey, Jobius. This is our first game together, Jobius. I see you in the chat all the time, so that's good to see we get a game in. Yeah, we'll play this one. Will be our last regular game, and then we'll do the blindfold game. Let's play Evans Gambit. Captain Evans Gambit. Okay. D4. Does Jobius have 2 light square bishops? Fortunately, the Lichess module. This is well played, by the way. I think this is the correct line. The Lichess module prevented us from having 2 light square bishops. Jobius has done his study. Jobius knows what's up here. This is a Jobius line for black. Like a dubious line. A Jobius line. Yeah, you know, I know you're supposed to take here and grab the pawn back, but I'm not going to do it. We're going to put Jobius to the test. I'm going to play in potentially Jobius fashion in order to try to generate an initiative. Queen d7. Interesting. All right. Show me what you got. I don't know. Maybe rook d1's not best. I'm not sure. But I'm going to try to play some aggressive moves, like I said. Ooh, I see a move that looks interesting. I can play next. But let's see what Jobius does here. Yeah, the move I have in mind probably doesn't even do much, though, is the thing. Ooh, there's some, like, real tactical complications brewing here. My. Man. Okay, so there's a lot of pressure converging here. I'm really looking at, like, all these squares. D8, F7, E5. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about maybe something slower like this. I mean, Knight G5 seems like an obvious move here, but I actually don't think it's a great move. Don't think it has the desired effect. I feel like I need one more piece in the game. Unless I'm missing an idea here. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing a killer move. Let's just develop. All right, I'll back this off. I have 38 seconds, so I have to play faster at this point, clearly. I don't think this is the best idea because Black's king is still kind of stranded in the middle of the board. Maybe Black can castle, but it doesn't seem ideal. Take that. Hello, Donald Shaluku. Could have played Queen A4 check against Knight A5. Yes. Yep, that was definitely possible. Might have been better. Actually, I think Black might be okay here. It's probably fine. Probably castles was the move there. I think had Jobius castled, that would have been completely acceptable. Let's do this. "21 seconds versus a minute, but I have Jobius under pressure. We'll take a very brief look at this afterwards. The result is still up in the air. Anything could happen here, folks. Yeah, I'm trying to be sneaky. I think it's a bit transparent. I think Jobius realizes what I'm up to, though, in this position. I'm trying to deflect the queen from guarding d8. Hurry, Jobius. Hurry. Takes there. I mean, it's uncomfortable for Black. I think he realizes he can't castle here. but there's still play. You could play a move like c5. Yeah, he panicked. Didn't see what to do. Yep. Do I have like a cool checkmate here? Check, rook d5. I think I can do this. Here, check. Oh, actually, f5 was covered, so that wasn't mate, but I'm sure it would have been mate soon. Okay, pretty good, Jobius. You know your stuff here. Yeah, you were playing all book moves. You know, when you're facing a line like the Evans, it definitely pays to have some precise understanding of how to handle this gambit. So yeah, white can try to get the pawn back here by taking and then taking either e5 or f7. I try to push for more, but I have a feeling this is kind of dubious for white. This is sometimes the problem with some of these gambits these days is black has ways that they can return the pawn. Yeah, probably you should just go queen e7 here. I definitely agree with what the engine's saying, because queen d7, although that is a move, I think in this position, is it? Nah, something similar. If queen b3, you sometimes go queen d7. Probably here it's just unnecessary. Yeah, we're actually following some games here. That's interesting. Some master games. Bishop a3 was never played. Yeah, you know, I think you're doing fine at this point. The engine is calling for knight ge7 and then castles. Wants you to get that to safety. Yeah, thank you for the game, Jobius. You did just fine. It's not easy to play a 3+0 game cold against a master. Yeah, it looks like after that trade, you're kind of in trouble. Although I misplay it. I should play check here, evidently. Because I guess the idea is inducing c6 is pretty phenomenal for me. Yeah, various problems for black. d6 square is also weak. So I thought your one big chance to stabilize the position was right here. You could have castled. Then I have a move like knight d7, but you can probably just calmly play this and you're completely fine. Oh, and even after this, you're fine too. Queen a4 check is better still for me. Yeah. Even up to the very end. Still very much in the game. Okay, thanks for the game, Jobius. All right, our final game. We're pressing up the end towards the end here. But let's go to our preferences. Take away the pieces. Take away the pieces and accept the challenge. This is always interesting to see who I get. M. Murph, you're up. Let's play e4. So this is a blindfold game. It's not glitching for you. Don't worry, guys. Even though the pieces have disappeared, that's intentional. I am playing blindfolded. I can see the move list, although I try not to look at it. And I can see the highlights of the moves. And Murph, are you there? No Joke is putting the link in the chat if you want to follow the game. Looks like M. Murph is not here, unfortunately, so we're going to go on to a different game. Oof. We get about a 400 or 500 point rating upgrade here. Let's play e4 again. Semele Paradise. All right. Sicilian it is. We're going to make this complicated. Usually I play d4 in my blindfold games. Oh, this is rated again? Oh, boy. Yet again, putting the rating on the line. Then again, if you guys tuned in last week, I took down Schrodinger's queen in a blindfold game. So I hope that that bodes well for my chances this week. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to Lichess Plays. If you didn't get chosen this week, our apologies. We wish that we had time to accommodate everyone. But even just showing up and watching, participating in the chat, hanging out is much appreciated. So thanks, everyone. All right, this is the same variation I played earlier. Remember in that game where my opponent played that h6 and g5 line? So fortunately, I know this pretty well for white still. I played this years ago. Highly theoretical line. One of the most theoretical lines in chess, I would say. It's up there. Yeah, I could, if I was more tech savvy and was able to like adjust on the fly a little bit more, I would definitely do that, Gudzinsko. Ooh, b5. b5 is premature here. I'm pretty sure. I think I can sack the queen here, guys. I think I can go e5, take. No, actually, Yeah, e5 is just a good move here. But let me think. e5, take, queen takes a8. Take d4. Yeah, let's go e5. I don't want to think for too long. Oh, my opponent goes knight d5. Okay. Well, let's take first. And then on pawn takes back, I'm going to play queen takes. And this rook on a8 is undefended, is the thing. Okay, rook a7, defending. Probably bishop takes e7. Yeah, let's capture. Queen takes. Should I just take d6 now? Yeah, let's just make that capture. I'm up 2 pawns. I might not be able to hold the pawn on d6, but I'll for sure be up 1 pawn. Ooh, check. There I go g3, right? So now the queen is hanging, the knight is hanging on b8. This is a volatile position, though, so I'm trying not to lose the position in my head. That's the big risk here. I think black has to play queen d8 here, which is definitely not what you want. Yep, queen d8. All right, should I trade or knight takes b5? Looks fun, albeit completely unnecessary. Let's just trade. And then I'm going to castle. I'm lining here. Let's go bishop g2. I see the position in my head pretty clear. The structure is solid. Black has the minor pieces here, rook here. Bishop g4 hits my rook. Simple enough to go rook d2, I think. Watch knight c6. Black constantly has to watch knight c6. They basically can't remove their knight from b8 due to that idea. Okay. Let's go pawn up. Bishop e6. Okay. Let's bring this over. So we're really powering up against that bishop on e6 and on the d file in general. Yep, black doubles. Maybe like b3 now. I don't want to use too much time. I'm dead winning here. Okay, let's take now. Take. Ooh, takes with the knight, but now I go here. And now I'm going to win this pawn endgame when black inevitably comes in. Let's come up like this. Check. Take. Here. Let's go a4. Let's go here. Let's go here. Advance. This is winning. I think I see everything in my head. Let's just take that one. Go here. Oh, hold up. There we go. Ran out of time. I forgot that there was a black pawn on e6 when black took here. That was the only thing I missed at the end. But being up 2 pawns, I had the C and the E pawn, and I had black's F pawn under control. It was on F4. I had my king on E4. There we go. Nice. Nice. Yeah. So, I think in this position I should probably play this right away. f5 take and then e6 because I'm always within the square of this pawn. And these two staggered pawns like this, even if this happens, black can never take the hindmost pawn because the front pawn runs. Oh, dude. Did I get a clean bill of health on this game? 4 average centi. 3. It went down to 3. Maybe it's still working through the analysis. Oh, 6. It's changing. It can't decide. Hey, if I can keep it under 10, I would be really, really pleased. But I think when it analyzes these games, it works its way backwards, just as an FYI. So that's why it's changing. I think it works its way backwards, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so Semele Paradise, you just played b5 too early. Black usually plays queen c7 or knight bd7 before they think about b5. It indeed works more efficiently going backwards, says No Joke Chess. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about this game. This was pretty clean. I didn't make any major visualization errors. I think I played just pretty good chess. Yeah, it's 2 pawns at this point, just trading down. I was kind of tempted to play knight takes b5 here. Oh, I actually didn't see that I could play queen takes b8. I should have at least looked at that. There is queen takes d4, although evidently... Oh, yeah, I take this one. Ooh, yeah, okay. Even though the engine says queen takes d8 is better, and apparently this is maybe playable for black. Yeah, that's a mistake on my part. I should have looked at queen takes b8. I just didn't see that was hanging there. I think in my head, this bishop somehow was not... this bishop was either gone or I thought the queen was defending the knight, I think, straight up, even though I knew the bishop was still on board. So mistake there. But yeah, otherwise, I'm pretty happy with this. I think I played good, patient chess. Black has to play rook takes d7 here to avoid the pure pawn ending, because I'm very happy to go into this pawn endgame up 2 pawns, just dead winning. Just don't make a big blunder. All right. So thank you, Semele Paradise. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in today. This was Lichess Plays. Thanks to the Lichess mods and Lichess itself for making this happen. Make sure you take advantage of all the features on the site. Check out the Watch tab and the broadcasts. Go to the broadcast. You can check out ongoing tournaments like the 2022 Carolina's Chess Classic, the Italian Championship, the Prague Chess event, the National Open. Also, check out the study tool. This is one of my favorite, I'd say, underutilized tools with chess on the internet. The study tool. Great tool for aggregating and analyzing your games. Yep. Take care, Twitch. Take care, YouTube. Thanks to you both for tuning in.